we see it every day. Just being part of the community, like everybody else. It's what they can achieve.
We're providing services to nearly 500 service users across the western suburbs of Melbourne. Mambourin initially started back in 1975 as an education service for half a dozen kids and one teacher.
We have 6-day service sites spread throughout the western suburbs: Werribee South, Altona, Sunshine, Braybrook and Deer Park. We've also got a packaging business in Sunshine, as well as our sensory garden where our gardening cruise operates.
We deal with individuals with varying disabilities and sometimes dual disabilities. No two people are the same.
We assess each individual's needs on a totally individual basis. We go through a process of determining their wants, needs and aspirations.
We have people who are verbal, people who are non-verbal, people who can move around on their own and people who can't.
As the diversity of our service users' needs is so great, really our programs and services and supports that we provide have to be equally diverse.
We discuss the aspects of their life, what their goals are, how they can achieve them, what their strengths are, what their weaknesses are, and we identify 3 or 4 key goals. We show them these are the programs that could help you to achieve those goals.
The services on offer at Mambourin are in 2 broad categories. There's the supported employment programs, or Australian Disability Enterprises, where people that we support are working in real jobs, doing real work and earning a real income. And then there's also our day services area where people are involved in recreational and vocational training programs. Lots of our service users elect to have their supports delivered to them in a group setting, and this is what suits their needs at the time. They're among their friends and they're doing things that they want to do together with their friends, socialising and doing activities out in the community. Other people might want to do something that nobody else wants to do, and therefore we can support them to do that on a one-on-one basis, and they get their needs met as well.
We have our recreational programs, which are really popular, and that's the bowling, tennis, swimming, things like that. We have our expressive arts program, put on a production every year.
I've found some amazing stories with music. It brings everyone together. It breaks down barriers. There's some people that I've heard sing, it's never been identified in any of their plan or any of their life areas before that they can actually sing. It really gives you a sense of just what people can achieve.
Then we have pre-vocational and vocational programs. The STEP program is structured, they focus on things like work experience, occupational health and safety, so anything that's really related to moving into employment.
Travel is an important aspect to employment, to independent lives and living. It starts off with a lot of theory and a lot of practice and a lot of support from staff.
So what we're doing, we're polishing up your skills so you can travel independently on the public transport, to get to work, to go shopping, maybe even just to visit a friend.
And then eventually letting go and allowing the service user, the individual, to go off by themselves, but knowing that very well that we're a phone call away or we're behind them. Any support that they need to get there independently, we're there to help all the way.
The Get Ready program has similar aspects to it, but they do focus on more social interaction and communication with your peers, getting them ready for either moving into employment or introducing them to the day programs. It teaches them the communication skills that they need to focus on how they can interact with different people. Just because we don't have a program now doesn't mean that we won't have one in the future. If we identify that there's a need for a specific focus, then by all means we design a program that fits with that individual. It's about building their self-esteem, building their ability to communicate and interact with their peers, and building up that confidence to be able to move into another environment where it's not so daunting, being able to participate in activities with people who aren't necessarily their own age, and feeling safe and valued in that environment.
An example is one of our service users that came up and just said, look, they want to help in reception. So the first thing we think is, well, that's great, how can we work it? You know, that's what you want to do. That lady at the moment is doing 1 day a week in reception.
The environment needs to be nurturing, structured on the basis of outcomes so that we can properly assess people's capabilities and to stretch them so that they can maximise their potential.
I think that if we arm them with the confidence to let them know, if we have expectations of them, then they usually rise to those expectations. If we show them that, yeah, we think you can actually do this and we want you to achieve, then they feel valued, and then they strive to achieve it, and they're not scared to ask, how can I do this? What can you do to help me?
Because a lot of times it's confidence too, like they really need someone to believe in them and show the confidence.
The look on their faces, and just to see the self-esteem, it's such a beautiful feeling.
We had an individual who got offered a position in our supported employment, but the only prerequisite that was he needed to be able to get here on his own, and his skills weren't necessarily up to scratch. We did 2 weeks of intensive travel training, and the very first day that he made it in here on his own, he was cheering and he's like, I'm here, I made it. He loves it here and this is where he wants to be, and that's what we're here for. It's fantastic.
The staff are what make the organisation. They're without a doubt the most passionate people that I've ever worked with, and that rubs off on everybody around them, the service users included.
Empowering them to be able to function in everyday society and participate as valued members of the community. That's what we're here for, and that's what we like to see.